circumstances, baby. No, God is always there for me. Yeah, through the sunshine or through the rain, through the breaker or through the pain, God is always there for me. So I met this old man. He was so poor, didn't hold a bed, so we slept on the floor. He's always smiling, never heard him complain. He said that proof it got again and again. So no matter what the circumstances, baby, God is always there for me. Yeah. Through the sunshine or through the rain, through the pleasure or through the pain, God is always there for me. No matter what the circumstances, baby, yeah, God is always there for me. Yeah. Through the good times or through the bad, through the happy times or through the sad, God is always there for me. The landlord weighs the rent, school fees you, partner drop bones, and you never need you. Friends all ask me what I'm gonna do. I smile and tell them that God will see me through. No matter what the circumstances, baby, yeah, God is always there for me. Yeah. Through the sunshine or through the rain, through the pleasure or through the pain, God is always there for me. So no matter what the circumstances, baby, God is always there for me. Yeah. Through the good times or through the bad, through the happy times or through the sad, God is always there for me. I met this old man. He was so poor, he didn't hold a bed, so we slept on the floor. He's always smiling, I never heard him complain. He said I've proven that again and again. So no matter what the circumstances, baby, God is always there for me. Yeah. Through the sunshine or through the rain, through the pleasure or through the pain, God is always there for me. No matter what the circumstances, baby, no, God is always there for me. Yeah. Through the good times or through the bad, through the happy times or through the sad, God is always. Separate me from Lord. Love my Jesus, nothing will be able to turn me away from you. I love you, Father. Anyhow, the afflictions of the righteous, the hearts of men, getting more and more vicious. Brutality is humble increase. Tell me, when the love of God sees no power on earth to separate me from Lord. Love my Jesus, away from you. I love you, Father. This level of crime, love can eradicate. We must demand justice from the church and the state, and confess to God all our evil ways. And He will give us so much better days when we show love to each and every brother. Love will return to protect mother, daughter, sister. Let's hope in our heart to those who are with me, who never receive love. Come, let's sow some seed. No power to separate me from God. Love my Jesus, nothing will be able to turn me away from you.
Good afternoon to all my listeners and viewers. Welcome to Rebel Radio. Yes, today, Monday, one day away from the big day. Tomorrow, Wednesday. Yes, and as we speak, the people of Guyana are voting. Yes. Let us start this evening's discussion with some politics. Yes. And I have with me Mr. Dalton Brown, who is the campaign manager for Southern Manchester, and Councillor Rowlands over in East Portland there. Gentlemen, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes. Let me start with Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown, how is it in Southern Manchester?
Southern Manchester is doing very well. We are putting in our final bits of preparation for Wednesday morning go where we're going to organize as I speak, and we are going to do because nothing less than a clear 2,000 vote majority is what we are pushing to get in these elections.
Yes, sir. So
2,000 vote majority victory.
Yes. So based on what you have seen so far and the work that has been done, you are confident that South Manchester will re-enter the PNP and winning enclosure.
And another politic form, and that's why that's really that I am easy and I'm struggling because we are putting this all of this kind of organizing to get us all votes on Wednesday morning.
Yes.
If it rains, we are prepared. If it is brutal, so much, we are prepared. Whatever it is, we have the mechanism of the machinery to get all the routes to the polling station on Wednesday morning and get right for the day.
Okay. Yes, sir. Mr. Rowlands over in East Portland, how is it looking over there?
Very good. Excellent.
Yes.
The candidate is pulling it all the stuff, is working very hard. Bringing to the people of East Portland. And, East Portland has a tremendous potential.
Yes.
Like in tourism, at one time it was the top tourism park in the island. But because of neglect during the 80s, it has failed to really reach its full potential. The candidate and the party leader, next Prime Minister, is putting all their chances together to upset Portland and make Portland a place that everybody wants to come, and people who live there has a lot of opportunity, especially in the year of their own business.
Yes.
We are putting our plans together to ensure that we achieve victory on the polls. We expect that our last count, we expect that we'll win by at least 2,288. But we are putting more things together because I want to increase that amount.
Then,
we went to alert the police because in the last 2 elections, what we noticed was a lot of vote buying, and it was hidden. They just drive around and have to keep the money and so everyone not hiding it. So we are going to ask the police to be a careful lookout for this thing because it is illegal and people must not be allowed to do illegal things in this country.
yes.
So that's one of the things that we are going to watch, and we are going to ask police to keep people careful lookout for that.
So you're saying vote buying in East Portland was done openly during the last elections? Okay.
Openly, they just go around in the car and take out their money. In one case, in Portland, the voting didn't finish until about 9 at night because people were waiting to be offered money. So when they were offered late, they came in.
No, but 9 o'clock polling station is closed, man. 9 p.m. you're talking about?
No, 9 p.m.
Yes, the voting still, what you're saying, the polling.
You see, if you are voting, if you have come through the gate, after the gate is closed at 5 p.m., you cannot come through. But if you are inside before 5, they have to allow you to vote.
Yes, of course. Yes.
And trust me, at up to 9 o'clock at that time, vote was going on, up to 9 o'clock.
Oh, so people, so many people came in late then?
Right.
Okay.
That was better.
Okay.
So, one of the notices of people coming half the time, so we have to be, they try that one and two, but our people out there shout it on, bring it to the attention of the police. It was wrong. But there were times when we were a little careless and it happened. So we are going to be on the full lookout for things like that.
Okay. Well.
Because they are going to do everything, because they know that they are in the room today.
Yes, I see. Yes. So, Mr. Brown, you are saying that you are ready to take back to maintain South Manchester, and all things are in place now for that to happen on Wednesday. Right, Mr. Brown? It's like we're lost.
Yes. No, I'm still here.
Okay.
Are you hearing me?
Okay. Yes, sir.
No. Yes. All is in place. And unlike my colleague in East Portland, we have heard the allegation about vote by, but the situation or the problem that the Labour Party is facing in South Manchester, they can't find anybody to buy it from.
Oh, okay. They don't. They don't have the base numbers, and for them to be successful in this election, in terms of that, they have to come now to our base, and our base not giving them any listening ear. So they map and they are having problem with their base. So, but at least we can speak with confidence based on our confidence numbers that our minimum victory margin will be 2,000 votes. Yes. Boy, that really sound and that both you and Netherlands are giving me victory margin of over 2,000.
Yeah, but in 2020,
yes,
when the victory numbers 2,400 less PNP votes came out versus 2016. I can confidently say to you that those PNP supporters who didn't vote in 2020 are fully back on board.
Okay.
And they did that And they did not go to the JP in 2020 because the JP still got less votes in 2020 than they got in 2016.
Okay.
And our campaign and our candidates have shown us where our people have come back on board.
Okay. All right.
Right. So that's why we can speak with a major authority. That's why our effort right now is to put in place the full machinery to manage and deal with the mobilization of our voters for the day.
Okay.
That's what smooth running and smooth operations.
Yes.
But we're going for a proper victory this time in South Manchester.
Okay, sir. All right. Well, let us hope that everything work out and that the people, come out to vote on election day. So, thank you very much.
You're most welcome to all the best.
All right. Yes. Okay, Mr. Rowlands, you have any final thing to say?
No, just that we are wrapping up the last trial challenge and I went to Wednesday. The people of Portland are fully behind the candidate, so a tremendous vision. And one thing that we can count on this candidate is going to be an honest member of parliament. And that's what we expect from every member of parliament, but we don't receive that at our time. He's going to be a member of parliament who is fully dedicated to the people and we want the best for the people.
Okay.
His record show that, his past record show that he's a man who has updated himself and he's going to do the same for the people.
Okay. All right, Councillor Rowlands. Thank you. Until tomorrow, take care.
Okay, take care.
All right. Yes. Those were two councillor for East Portland and the campaign manager for South Manchester. Those are two of the constituencies that the PNP will have to take if they want to take over the government. And you heard from those two representatives there that they are confident of victory. Let us take a break now. This is Rebel Radio.
Everybody sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagleyburg Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
Tools, Hardware and Supplies is turning up the heat this summer with their super saving summer sale. Prices are slashed on everything you need to fix up your home. Beautiful tiles, sleek doors, top quality windows, modern sanitary ware, exclusive flooring and more. At Tools, Hardware and Supplies, we have you covered for the summer.
So come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hard Hills.
Oh, Jamaica is a good fire, passion and vibes, and through it all there's a glow inside. Let's keep her shine alive.
From the market to the factory floors, from the hillside green to golden shores.
We're rich in lights, our energy that lights the sky. Shine bright, Jamaica. Shine bright, Jamaica. We're on track. Feel it, feel it.
shine never end.
Welcome back to Rebel Radio. You know, one of the things that I have been told. And when I talk to Jamaicans living in the United States, they told me that this is not new. But I have been told now that there is a pool, there's a rush for Jamaicans in the States coming back to vote. Yes, I don't know, how many, but what I'm hearing is that there is a huge influx. Take a look at this video.
Hey, Andrew, everybody have them birthday on a plane there, everybody. And then, Andrew, there's not one shower on this plane. Nobody has a shower. And if there are, they're going to be same power with the plane.
Okay, there you saw it there. Well, the parties are now tying up their final campaign functions, the activities. Yes. Yesterday both parties had their last major rallies. The PNP was in Montego Bay at Sam Sharp Square, and the JLP was in Spanish Town at Old Harbour Square. And thousands, massive rallies. Now, I remember the late Michael Manley saying in 1980 that 150,000 can't be wrong. But he was proven wrong. Yes, because the PNP was wiped out on election night in 1980. Yes. So let us see if this is what is going to happen in this election. Because one thing I can say that both parties, based on what I have seen, both parties have been, have pulled out some massive numbers. Yes, the numbers are huge. But what I can say, it would appear to me that the PNP base has been well energized, because you heard the campaign manager from over in South Manchester telling us that based on his count, over 2,000 PNP votes are voters who stayed away from the polls in 2020. Yes. And they are now back on the roll. And that is why he was confident when he said that he's expecting the PNP candidate over in South Manchester there to win by over 2,000. Now in East Portland, there you heard the councillor saying that he's expecting that the PNP is going to win by over 2,000 also. Now those margins are high, but let us see what is going to happen on Wednesday. If they are going to be proven right. One thing I can say at Rebel Radio that I expect the PNP, I expect in Manchester, I expect a 3-1 victory in favor of the PNP in Manchester. That is what I expect. Yes. And well, if you listen to the Blue Dot polls, they are supposed to be, the PNP is supposed to be wiped out. Yes. In Manchester. So we are going to see how that works out. Yes. Yes. We're looking to see how that is going to work out. Yes. Westmoreland, where the PNP lost all seats in 2020. That's another parish that I expect to be retaken. I expect that. Also Hanover. And based on what I am seeing in St. James, that is going to be an interesting result. I don't expect Minister Chang and Minister Bartlett to lose their seats. If that happened, then that will be, I would be shocked. But we have 5 seats in St. James. I expect the other 3 seats over there are up for grabs. Yes. And based on what I have seen and heard and observed, it is likely that those other 3 seats are going to be taken over by the PNP. Yes. The other parish that I am watching is St. Elizabeth. Yes, St. Elizabeth. That is a very interesting parish. And you have 4 seats down there. And I'm expecting the PNP to take at least 2 of those. The people are telling me down there that they want all 4. And that's what they are working towards, all 4 seats over there. Yes. The other in the corporate area, we are also watching closely. If the PNP is to take the victory, they must take those 2 rural St. Andrew seats. Historically, that has been the case. The winning party usually take those 2 seats. West Rural and East Rural. That is what we are looking at and what we expect to happen. I am trying to get someone from over in West Rural there, one of the councillors, to update me on what is happening. Yes. But I am not getting through, I know they are on mopping up exercise and not easy to...
Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes. Good afternoon to you, sir. You are there, okay? Hello?
Hello?
Okay, yes. You are listening to me, Councillor Clou?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. So, I know you're on mapping up exercise, but as you know, if the PNP is to take over Jamaica House, they will have to take those 2 St. Andrew rural seats there. How is it going in East Rural? That's your former hometown.
Well, Sir Desmond, We are doing our work. We have a candidate. Some people say that call him Young David.
Okay.
We don't have the funds and the different building materials. We don't have the chicken and so on like she. But what I know, we have in East Rural St. Andrew going for the People's National Party and our candidate MP Patrick Peterkin as of Wednesday night is the love of the people.
Yes.
And once the love is there and we have Christ with us, guiding us as we go by, I am confident and I'm looking forward to the victory.
Yes.
We are going to win in Mavis Bank. We are going to win in Kentire. We are going to win in Bull Bay, and we are going to win in Harborview.
Okay. You are going to win in Bull Bay. Bull Bay, I know, is a traditional stronghold for the JLP.
Now you will recall, Mr. Richards, that once upon a time you have Roy McGann, you have Gerard Barrett, and you name it.
Yes.
And you have a humble little man by the name of Oliver Blue.
Yes, yes.
Bull Bay, you know, was an Oliver Blue town.
So,
There's no MP with a PMP or JLP that put in the work that I put in that division.
yes, yes.
It's a total disgrace, and this member of parliament ought to be ashamed of herself.
Yes.
When I look at Baito and Blacksburg and Cane River Road, and when I look at the roads them there, I left highways.
Yes, I remember Oliver, I remember that.
You remember?
I remember.
My back to school assistance program. I see individuals just hand out some books and might pay some school fee and all that. I, Oliver Clue, have been giving individual $120,000 from the SESP unit in my days.
Yes.
I, Oliver Clue, not only give them books and send them to school, but I also ensure that I also ensure that they have transportation to take them to school and from school. Look at St. Peter's up in the hills.
Yes.
Children struggle to reach home on 10 o'clock at night and have to get up 4 in the morning to get to Papine. I ensure that I gave them a school bus.
Yes.
When you talk about the building of schools and centers, you talk about Oliver Crew, the People's National Party. When you talk about playfield, you ask this lady about the playfield that was built by us, PMP. Love the basketball court, netball court, I left a pavilion. And when I went there 2 weeks ago, nomination day, I was so upset. Tears came to my eyes to see what they tear down there, because they love to mash down here. They mash down the pavilion and so on, and say they're going to build a new one. And up to now, people need to know about all these things.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
So I am telling you, Leslie, I am hoping, I'm praying, and I know the Lord will never let the wicked overcome the righteous. And I serve under that lady for 2 terms. and not even 1 cent, not even a forward ticket. She's a wicked lady.
Oh.
She don't love people. She loves herself.
Yes.
So, the question you ask, yes, we are going to win.
Yes. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes. Well, I know that. I know that you were a hard-working member of Parliament. I know that. There's evidence of your work. I saw evidence of your work when you were a member of Parliament. I saw that. But as we say, let us. I know you're on your mapping up exercise now. So
yes.
Let us see what is going to happen Wednesday, which is the big day.
Thank you very much, Cesar.
All right, have a good day.
God bless you. Thank you very much.
Yes, that was Councillor Oliver Cloutier. He's from the Harbourview Division, and Oliver Cloutier is a former member of Parliament for East Rural St. Andrew. Yes, he represented that constituency, I think, for 2 terms. Yes, so he's aware, and as I said, I saw evidence of, and when I say I saw, because of my connection up in the East Division there, and that part of that constituency. Yes. And as I said, I saw what he did as member of Parliament. So it is going to be interesting to see what happens on Wednesday, to see if the JLP is going to retain that constituency. The PNP, will have to win that seat. Interestingly, the Prime Minister announced yesterday that if returned to power, his administration is going to move the minimum wage to $32,000. Yes, over a period of time. He said that in the first budget after winning this election, it is going to move to from where it is now, 16,000 to 18,500. Yes. Well, he indicated that, you know, they want to provide a livable wage for the workers. Well, that's not a bad idea, you know. Not a bad idea. But what will have to happen, that there will have to be some increase in productivity too. In other words, for example, small business operators, their businesses will have to grow and grow faster than how it is growing now in order to afford the increases. So while I agree that the wages now are low and not livable, not able to cope with the cost of living, right? But if the workforce, businesses will have to grow also. Because if that is not done, then it is not going to be possible for and when I said yes, a number of small businesses, that's what I'm talking about, they are not going to be able to afford it, and so that will result in loss of jobs too. No, that is not something that not good. So yes, we support the increases, but we want to see moves where small businesses can grow their businesses, make them more profitable so that they can afford to pay the increases. That must be done. Let us take a break. This is Rebel Radio.
It's the Everybody Sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagleyburg Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
Tools, hardware, and supplies is turning up the heat this summer with their super saving summer sale. Prices are slashed on everything you need to fix up your home. Beautiful tiles, sleek doors, top quality windows, modern sanitary ware, exclusive flooring, and more. At Tools, hardware, and supplies, we have you covered for the summer.
So come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hardware.
Oh, Jamaica eyes were built with fire, passion and vibes, and through it all there's a glow inside. Let's keep our shine alive.
From the market to the factory floors, from the hillside green to golden shores.
We're reaching heights, our energy that lights the sky. Shine bright, Jamaica. Shine bright, Jamaica. We're on track. Feel it, feel it. Together we rise, together we climb. JPS Jamaica. Together we shine.
Shine from the ends, shine with your family, shine with your friends. Light up the streets and make the vibes blend. Your JPS and make the shine never end.
Okay, welcome back. And as I indicated earlier on, that in Jamaica, final preparations are being made for our big day on Wednesday. But today is the big day in Guyana. Yes, voters are now casting their votes in the general elections over there in Guyana. I have with me senior journalist Adam Harris. Adam, what is happening so far?
Well, my friend, you know we had a problem with the voters. So, what we have found out today is that some people from Bangladesh, now we have a law which says if you're a Commonwealth resident,
yes,
and you live in Guyana for a year, you can vote.
Okay.
I don't know any other country that applies that law. So we have these people from Bangladesh. In one case, 26 of them with the same last name, all from the same address, turning up to vote. What, according to one report, they were making a mess about it. They just didn't know what to do. It's either they were idiots or I don't know. A lot of spoiled products from them. But that is only the tip of the iceberg. That's what we found out. We don't know if there are any other foreign nationals in any other part of the country.
Yes.
We don't know. But we suspected that the government was not going to roll over easy. It was going to try everything to get the numbers. We stopped the Haitians from coming because they are black and you associate blacks with the main opposition party. But you bring these Indians, I didn't even know they had imported these Asian nationals, Bangladesh, India. I didn't know that. So they tried to get them to vote. When we look at the identification cards, it means that one set of people was registered in June and another set in July. This is September. I don't know how they got their name on the list in less than 2 months. But that happened. So it's going on. At the polling stations we visited, there was no big crowd. I think but there was a steady stream of people.
Okay.
You know, nobody wanted to stand up in a line, I suppose. But we are going there. At one time, one political party, the coalition, was saying Georgetown is not coming out. We're worried. But it was early. It was about 10. So we said, well, these are early times. This time, if you don't have the numbers, we should be worried. And after this interview and conversation, I'm going to call some of the people to get an idea of the voter turnout.
Yes.
I don't know what's happening in other parts of the country.
Yes.
But it's what it is.
Okay.
You will get your elections. You have your election on Wednesday. Today is Monday, Wednesday. Morning, you will know your results.
Yes, yes. Yes, we will know our results Wednesday night, you know.
There you go. Well, we wouldn't know it until about Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay. Okay. I see.
But the view is that there will be a minority government. We are going to see.
Yes. And that independent candidate there, the billionaire candidate, he's expected to do well.
Well, he's expected to do well in some parts yet. He attracted some support from the coalition side, and we don't know the extent of support that he attracted from the government side, but we believe that it is sizable.
Yes.
Okay. So we know that he will do well. He will get some seats. He has done well in some Amerindian, that's in the interior. He has done well there. So we are going to see.
Yes, sir. Yes. So, as we speak, the voters are streaming to the stations to cast.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes.
Yes, that's right.
Right.
That's right, my brother.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
And so far, you have not heard of any incidents. Things are going along.
Yeah, it's quiet.
Yes.
That's correct. No incidences yet. None. No confrontation.
Yes, sir.
But perhaps before they close the poll, I don't know, but we will have a better grasp of the situation just before the end of poll.
Right.
Because at that time, you normally get a rush to the polling station also. So we will see what happens.
Yes, sir. Yes. Adam, the other thing that of note, and I know you must be paying attention to this, is that the U.S. military build-up in the Caribbean. I saw where the government of Guyana, the incumbent government, and also of Trinidad, they are in support of it. But in what have you heard from other people in Guyana? What?
Well, the traditional position is that the Caribbean should be a zone of peace.
Yes.
You all say that.
Yes.
So if you have this military build-up and governments are supporting it, then we are not promoting the concept of a zone of peace.
No.
We say that Venezuela is bellicose, beating war drums. I haven't heard any of those. But what is happening is that I suppose that the U.S. has a problem with Venezuela, and we are here, and I don't know, we are supposed to be allies of the U.S., so we will sign on to any action by the U.S. I don't know, that is a big gesture. They're off the coast of Venezuela, just off our coast, all these warships, and I hope that nothing happens, that somebody accidentally does something that can trigger a heated confrontation, because then the area will no longer be a zone of peace, and some small countries could be hurt. Yes. Because Venezuela could lash out, and there are a lot of implications.
Yes, sir. Yes, of course. Yes, and we think we should continue to press for this area to be a zone of peace. We definitely don't want any war in our region at all. No.
No, none. No. We had the problem with Grenada.
Yes.
And I thought that was unnecessary. I think that was in 1983.
Yes, sir.
I mean, people died in the Caribbean, and that was because the Americans did not want the Cubans in the region at the time. And the Cubans who were in Grenada building that airstrip, But, so now we are back again. Yes, we have a problem in Venezuela and our territories.
Yes.
And we always say we will settle it by diplomatic means. But I'm not happy that things have gone so far.
No, not at all, Adam. We must, maintain peace in our area. We don't want the conflict at all. No, not good for us.
Right.
Not good for us at all.
Exactly.
No. So, as I said, we are watching to see what is going to be the result of today's election in Guyana.
Yes.
Jamaica will be having its election on Wednesday. And we also, there are election fever is also hot in St. Vincent,
Yes.
Yeah, the elections are due next year, but based on the Prime Minister...
In St. Vincent?
Yeah, the Prime Minister indicated that they might have elections this year too. Yes.
All right. Yeah.
And elections are due in St. Lucia in 2026. And I know that the parties over there are campaigning also, so we have elections around the Caribbean. So yes.
Well, we'll have to see.
Yes, sir.
It's interesting time. Let us see what happens.
Yes, sir. Right. So we will talk either later or tomorrow.
I'm around the call.
Yes, sir. So,
okay, my brother.
Take care.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that was journalist Adam Harris there, keeping us abreast of what is happening in Guyana. Well, as you know, they are having their elections today. Yes. And we are having ours on Wednesday. So we will know what is going to happen in Guyana, whether the incumbent government is going to maintain power, or there's going to be a change of government. Let us see what is going to happen. Yes. And as I indicated earlier on, that elections are also due in, well, not constitutionally due. I'm talking about in St. Vincent. But the Prime Minister indicated that there will be elections this year. So we are looking forward to see when it is going to be held. And as also in St. Lucia, right? So campaigning is taking place now over in those two countries, and you can expect over in St. Vincent, Dr. Gonzalez, yes, he has been in power over there now for, I think this will be his 5th or 6th election. Yes. He's going to defend his position for the 6th time. Let us see what is going to happen over there. I know that elections are eating up, campaigns heating up over there, and based on the reports that I have, the opposition this time is stronger than it was the last time, and they are expecting to win. So let us see what is going to happen. Yes. And as by Thursday we will know whether or not the trend started in Trinidad and Suriname will continue in Guyana and Jamaica. And that is the trend where the opposition won the elections both in Trinidad and in Suriname. So let us see what is going to happen. Let us go for a break.
possible if you only believe. Sitting at home all alone, wondering what tomorrow may bring. He of little faith, dig deeper within. Healing the sick, he raised the dead, he walked on the sea. He worked miracles if you only believe. Only believe, only believe. All things are possible if you only believe. Only believe, only believe. All things are possible if you only believe. Lord, show me the way to do your will, and I will obey. I wanna be your servant. On my knees I pray. Lord, give me strength to carry on. Please lead the way, because I believe. Yes, I believe. Oh, I believe that all things are possible if you only believe. Only believe. Only believe. All things are possible if you only believe. Sitting at home all alone, wondering what tomorrow may bring. He of little faith, dig deeper within. Healing the sick, he raised the dead, he walked on the sea. He worked miracles if you only believe. Only believe, only believe. All things are possible if you only believe. Only believe, only believe. All things are possible if you only believe. If you only thank you, Jesus.
Yes, welcome back to Rebel Radio. Yes, and let us go over to Alligator Pond now to find out what is happening over there. We have Councillor Robinson with us. Hello, Councillor Robinson. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Hello, the radio family. Hello, Mr. Richard. What's up?
Yes, well, I know you must be putting on your finishing touches now for Wednesday. So, how is it going?
Well, definitely we have been calling for an election, so we would have had most things in place. The final touches now would be to get that workers list rechecked and perused to the mark so that we have committed persons, dedicated persons, and persons who will stick to the task that will be given on the day and how we plan to bring out the votes. So,
yes, sir.
The People's National Party stands ready. We have been in the field over 2 years crying out for an election, and here it is. We are in touching distance, and we can't wait for September 3rd for us to put the machinery in function and to bring the victory home for the People's National Party.
Yes, sir. Yes, and this constituency is one of the constituency that the PNP will have to win.
Right, and I tell you, we would have had control of this constituency for a good while, almost 30 years.
Yes.
And it was broken in 2020 when everybody knew what really took place in 2020. Persons were afraid to go out because of the pandemic. It was a low voter turnout. And this time around, with the base that I witnessed on the campaign trail, the energized base, People's National Party supporters, all the persons who are marching for a change, they are ready. So I am expecting a higher turnout than what took place in 2020, and that should be in favor of opposition. That should be in favor of Mark Golding becoming the 10th Prime Minister of Jamaica.
Yes, sir. Yes, I heard you. And what by the way, what the weather looks like down in southern Manchester now? How is it? Where you are?
Well, I must tell you, we are pretty close skies. Yesterday when I saw out loud, and I was saying that, come what may, rain or shine, come red will be marching out. And we are prepared for any eventualities. We are prepared for any weather that may be on the day. So it boils down to the team that is most organized, and I boast organization for the People's National Party. When it comes to a united force, once we are united, we will win. And I'm seeing that from the hierarchy, I'm seeing that at the middle management, and I'm seeing that on the ground. A united PNP ready to take Jamaica to where it should be.
Okay, sir. That's very good news for you over there in southern Manchester. And Mr. Richard, I must tell you though, I saw some road work being done 2 days before an election in South Manchester. Yeah. This is a road that I've been crying out since I became councillor. I've been making a lot of posts on Facebook and other media. Right now I'm driving. That's a road that I would have been on to school every morning for work. Yes. And the condition remains the same. They did one section in the gutters area just 2 days before an election, and it tells me that they are not serious about representation. They are trying to pretty up a little part so for people to say they are doing something. But I guess most of the persons who are going with the party, most of the persons who are going with the People's National Party would have made their minds up long time ago that the country needs a change. So I don't know what they're trying to ascertain,
by what they are doing overnight with these potholes that we have been navigating for so long.
Yes.
Proper fix will be coming to South Manchester when Peter Bunting takes the reign as the next member of Parliament for South Manchester.
Yes, sir. Okay. Well, let us see what is going to happen over there, sir. And the pundits, well, we at Rebel Radio, we are looking for at least for the PNP to retain at least 3 seats in Manchester. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And if you allow me, I must warn against after the police, military, and the election day workers went out Friday. I must warn against complacency because we are reading on our internal conduct. We would have identified over 40 seats for the People's National Party based on what we saw on Friday. Okay. The police, the military, and election day workers, they went out and they started to make the change for a new government. Let every person, every supporter, every Jamaican who is serious about the change, don't stay home and think that victory will happen like that. Every single Jamaican needs to step out and exercise their franchise. This is it. This is the most important election in the history of Jamaica. This is it for us to have a leader with integrity, not a questionable leader. This is the opportunity for every Jamaican to stand up and let their voices be heard, let your vote be counted for good. Too many things are happening right before our eyes, and we need to respect a leader that will respect the country. And we're right there with education. We have the right persons ready to take charge of the education ministry. We have the right persons ready to take charge of the health ministry. We have the right persons ready to take charge of the books, the finances of this country. We cannot be running loose with what is happening with some of the pronouncements of the Prime Minister. We must stay focused, and we know that the change is coming, and people must realize that Jamaica will be better with a more golden leadership.
Thank you very much, Councillor. And
thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. And I want you. We will talk on Wednesday.
Okay, definitely, yes. Definitely.
Okay, thank you, sir. Yes, it was Councillor Robinson from the Alligator Pond Division there, telling us about what is happening in South Manchester. Let us take another break. This is Rebel Radio.
Everybody sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagleyburg Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
Tools, hardware, and supplies is turning up the heat this summer with their super saving summer sale. Prices are slashed on everything you need to fix up your home. Beautiful tiles, sleek doors, top quality windows, modern sanitary ware, exclusive flooring, and more. At Tools, hardware, and supplies, we have you covered for the summer.
So come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hardware.
keep her shine alive.
From the market to the factory floors, from the hillside green to golden shores.
We're reaching heights, our energy that lights the sky. Shine bright, Jamaica. Shine bright, Jamaica. We're on track. Feel it, feel it. Together we climb. JBS Jamaica. Together we shine.
Shine from the ends, shine with your family, shine with your friends. Light up the streets and make the vibes blend. Your JPS and make the shine never end.
Father God, well, Lord, your love has made me strong, and for that, I'm all yours. Well, Lord of mercy. Oh God, I'll never find the words, the Lord, to tell you how I feel. You God, mere words could not explain. Yeah, gracious Lord, you held my life within your hand, created everything I had, taught me how to live again. Only you care when I needed a friend, making my this song is for you, filled with gratitude and love. Oh Lord, I thank you. You make me feel brand new. For blessing me, I adore you. Almighty God, I love you. I sing this song for you. Father God, I adore you. Yeah. My Lord, whenever I was insecure, you built me up and made me sure. You gave my sense of pride back to me. Only you care when I needed a friend, taking my promises. Oh, this song is for you, filled with gratitude and love. I time, God will take care of you. We need His wings of love above. God will take care of you. God will take care of you through every day. All the way. He will take care of you. God will take care of you. God will take care of you through every day. All the way. He will take care of you. God will take care of you. I trust in you right now. Lord have mercy. Oh, yeah. To you I give all glory. Hey. Just believe right now, and then do it again. You may be down and feel like I somehow forgotten. Yeah, that you are faced with circumstances so hard to get through. Right now it seems there's no way out, and you're going under. Yeah, God's proven time and time again, He'll take care of you, and He'll do it again. He'll do it again. Just take a look where you were now and where you have been. He always come through for you. He's the same now as then. So you may not know how, may not know when, but He'll do it again. God knows the things you're going through. He knows that you're hurting. He sees and knows just how your heart has been broken in two. But He is God, God of the stars, the sand and the seas. He is the one who will take care of you, and He'll do it again. He'll do it again. Just take a look where you are now, where you have been. He always comes through for you. It's the same now as then. So you may not know how, may not know when, but He'll do it again. God knows the things you're going through. He knows that you're hurting. He sees and knows just how your heart has been broken in two. But he is God, God of the stars, the sand and the seas. He is the one who will take care of you, and he'll do it again. He'll do it again. Just take a look where you are now, where you have been. He always comes through for you. It's the same now as then. Now you may not know how, may not know when, but you do it again. You may not know how, may not know when, but you do it again. Lord of mercy, you may not know how, may not know when, but you do it again. Don't you worry, you may not know how, may not know when, but you do it again. It's my people. Oh Lord my God, when I'm in awesome wonder, consider all thy works thy hand doth make. I see the stars, I hear the mighty thunder, thy power throughout the universe display. Then sings my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. When through the woods, the forest glades I wander, and hear the birds sing sweetly in the trees. When I look down from lofty mountain grandeur, and hear the brook and feel the gentle breeze, then sings my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sing my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. I've got his son, not spirit, sent him to die. I scarce can take it in. Then on the cross, my burden gladly bearing, he bled and died to take my sins away. Then sings my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior Sings my soul, my Savior God. How great thou art, Almighty God, how great thou art. I need you, Lord, right now. Yeah, I must tell Jesus all of my trials. I cannot bear these burdens alone. In my distress, kindly will help me. He ever loves and cares for his own. I must tell Jesus. I must tell Jesus. I cannot be. No, my burdens alone. I must tell Jesus. I must tell Jesus. Jesus can help me. Only Jesus alone. I must tell Jesus all of my troubles. He is a kind and compassionate friend. If I ask him, he will deliver. Make all my troubles quickly and hand. I must tell Jesus. I must tell Jesus. I cannot be. I must tell Jesus. My burdens alone. I must tell Jesus. I must tell Jesus. Jesus can help me. Only Jesus alone. What must I do when worldliness calls me? What must I do when tempted to sin? I must tell Jesus, and he will help me over the world, victory to win. I must tell Jesus. I must tell Jesus. I cannot be. No, my burdens alone. I must tell Jesus. I must tell Jesus. Jesus can help me. Jesus can help me. Only Jesus Jesus alone. To all the mothers out there, the ones that have passed, and the ones who are still here with us, God bless. I remember Mama and the love that she gave. Building had a bedside, I could still hear Mama say, people are better than you, George, don't you let them down. I remember Mama in a happy way. We went to school with holes in our shoes. We didn't have much, but the loss saw us through. I remember family together. I remember Mama in a happy way. She packed her lunch in an old piece of bed. Might have seemed empty, and it was full from Mother's head. We did not know, way deep down inside. I remember Mama in a happy way. I remember Mama in a happy way. Mama is sleeping in the bosom of Jesus Christ. Somehow I know she's smiling at us right now. One day I see her again. Happy, happy. I remember Mama in a happy way. I remember Mama in a happy way. Brothers and sisters, they're living far apart. Although Mama's gone, she's right there in her heart. The whole was pulled together and stayed in the holy place. I remember Mama in a happy way. I remember Mama in a happy way. Grandma, I miss you. Dad, I miss you too. For those of us who lost loved ones, you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. Lord Almighty. Yeah. Now Mama is sleeping in the bosom of Jesus Christ. Somehow I know she's smiling at us right now. One day I see her again. Happy, happy. I remember Mama in a happy way. I remember Grandma in a happy way. I remember Dada in a happy way. I remember you all in a happy way. Mama, I remember you in a happy way. I wanna thank you, Lord.
It's the Everybody Sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagleypark Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
Tools, hardware, and supplies is turning up the heat this summer with your super saving summer sale. Prices are slashed on everything you need to fix up your home. Beautiful tiles, sleek doors, top quality windows, modern sanitary ware, exclusive flooring, and more. At Tools, hardware, and supplies, we have you covered for the summer.
So come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hardware.
passion and vibes, and through it all there's a glow inside. Let's keep our shine alive.
From the market to the factory floors, from the hillside green to golden shores.
We're reaching heights, energy that lights the sky. Shine bright, Jamaica. Shine bright, Jamaica. Feel it, feel it. Together we climb. JPS Jamaica. Together we shine.
Shine from the ends, shine with your family, shine with your friends. Light up the streets and make the vibes blend. Your JPS and make the shine never end.
Yes, welcome back to Rebel Radio. Yes, and it's time, Monday. It's time for workers' time. As you know, this is where we spend some time looking at what is happening at the workplace. Yes. And we have with us today Mr. Thomas Litang, and he's the General Secretary of the Dominica Public Service Union. Yes. Good afternoon, Mr. Litang. How are you today?
Good afternoon, my friend. How are you? Thank you.
Yes, sir. So, what is happening in Dominica today as it relates to the workers? How are things progressing?
Well, I am currently out of state. I'm in the US.
Okay.
For a couple of weeks. But when I left, things were normal. Mm-hmm. I always keep in contact with officers as to what is happening and so on. But when I left Dominica, one of the big things was that we are on the verge of seeing the launching of Trade Union Congress. That is something that we have been battling for a number of years. You know, when I took over as General Secretary of the Dominica Public Service Union, that was one of my goals to see the establishment of a Trade Union Congress in Dominica.
Yes.
But we were having issues, you know, I mean, at least two unions were not in favor, and it was a back and forth, but we are getting there. We have what we think will be the final draft of our constitution. We got some assistance from the International Labour Organization with technical assistance, and they have been assisting us in that putting the constitution together. Mm-hmm. And we are hoping to have something very soon. There is a need for that because more and more workers are experiencing more issues, more problems. It's something that I have said on the program, supported by some other regional trade unionists, that the conditions, terms and conditions of work have to be protected, and so I believe if we are united, the more employees, the more workers are united, it will be better for them, and we cannot sit by and let us go back to the 1930s. And prior to that, we really have to make sure that we are active, we are not selfish, we continue to make the sacrifices, because that is why the employees elected us as their leaders, to make sure that we serve them, and we serve them well. We will give good mission to them. So that is where we are. We just concluded salary negotiations on behalf of public officers, and I must say that we, as a union, we are satisfied, because we were able to get the government to agree to quite a lot of long-term benefits for public officers. Even benefits beyond retirement. So that we consider it as a between some of the things we have been pushing for a number of years, but at long last we have been able to get them, and we are happy. So these are a major development in terms of employees. We are looking at the working conditions of our specialist doctors, and again we were successful in making some representation on their behalf. Local government, I don't know whether what's the position in. I know you have local government in Jamaica, because you have this council and so on. We were also able to get, that is the union, the public service union, to get a significant adjustment to the salaries of the village council clerks and so on. So it has been a successful year for us at the statutory institutions. We were also able to make some very serious inroads into those negotiations and so on, including Dominica State College, the WASCO, that is the water storage company. So this year for us has been a great year in terms of salary negotiations. We still have certain things we have to work on, and that is to develop strategies of getting members to participate more and be more actively involved in the union activities and programs.
Right. So tell us, the trade union congress there now, that will be a body of trade. All the trade unions in Dominica, they are going to come together as one body.
Okay.
That's it?
Well, right. Well, we have 6 registered trade unions in Dominica.
Yes.
And our union is the largest. That is Dominica Public Service Union is the largest.
Yes.
So 4 unions are coming together to form the Congress. But it doesn't mean that our autonomy will be lost. So you will still be independent.
Yes.
But you will have a national body. So that will consist of ourselves and the teachers union, which is where the teachers represent the teachers, and then we'll have what we call the Dominica Amalgamated Workers Union, as well as the Waterfront and Allied Workers Union, which are 2 private sector unions. So in all, we'll have 2 public so 2 public sector unions and 2 private sector unions, because we believe that there are a lot of issues that need to be addressed jointly. It doesn't mean our independence will be lost. For those of us who are affiliated to the Caribbean Congress of Labor, once you have a trade union congress, then the trade union congress is the one that becomes an affiliate of the Caribbean Congress of Labor, and not the individual trade union. So that we will lose. But apart from that, I think we will be a stronger voice. And one of the things that we have also looked at the possibility that when we are negotiating with the government, where it comes to the salary aspect of it, that we will do that jointly. So we are hoping that we have already spoken to the DAP that moving forward, negotiations with the government as far as salaries are concerned will be done jointly. In terms of the non-salary matters, and there can be quite a bit. We can do that individually, but for the salary, that would be done. Because you see, you have to be very careful when negotiating the government and the Police Welfare Association, which is separate to the 2 of us, to the 2 other bodies, accepting a very, very early negotiation, they accepted salary. But the Dominica Teacher Association, the BAT, and the Public Service Union, we continued because we felt what was being offered was not sufficient. So we entered into an informal agreement that none of us would accept unless we inform the other, and that's we were going. So even in Parliament, the government disclosed that the DH had accepted it, but that was not the case.
Yes.
But I guess that is a strategy to sort of divide and rule. Mm-hmm. But when we satisfied that we had gotten most, if not all, but most of what we were asking for, the two unions agreed, well, now is the time that we should say to the government that we are in agreement. Okay. So already, even before the establishment of the Congress, we have developed that kind of working relationship and arrangement, which I believe is very good and very positive.
No, yes, sir. That is similar to, in Jamaica, we have the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions, where it is a body comprising all the trade unions. But as you said, they maintain their autonomy, but they are members of this body.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So I understand.
Yes. So we spend a little time at the pattern as it is in Jamaica and certain places in Africa, mm-hmm. and so on. So it involved a lot of work to really get to where we are as far as the Congress is concerned.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But one of the things I noticed is that we will be having a few elections, general elections this year and next year. So public officials have to really be on top of the issues. I believe they have to look at the parties that's offering more for public officers. They have to study the manifestos very, very closely. What the PSU did in Dominica on 3 different occasions was to prepare what we called the People's Manifesto. So we look at all the things, and that was very innovative, and I don't think any other union has done that. So we looked at every different aspect of life, education, health, agriculture, social services, economics, and so on and so forth. And we had recommendations for all different areas, and that was distributed or shared with the different political parties.
Yes.
And in addition to that, what we did as a union was to prepare a document which we titled guidelines for voting or something like that, I think it was. And while we did not take side to tell our members vote for this party or that party, but what we did was to try to educate them on the different things that they should be looking at when it comes to the different parties as well as the candidates, and really what they were offering for the public service. Mm-hmm. It was so well done that I remember my Prime Minister saying publicly that when he read the document, he was convinced that it came from and that was the word that he used, that it came from the boil of a political party. But that was not so. I mean, as I sat down, I prepared the document, I passed it among my executive members. It was endorsed, and that was what. But it was well done, and we covered every area. But he could not understand that this came from a union, and believe me, we had absolutely no input from any political party.
Yes, but Mr. Litang, one of the things that I know you know this, but one of the things that the trade unions must remember, that the trade union movement in the Caribbean is the grandfather of the political movement in the Caribbean. Remember now, is the
definitely that's the case. But some of these guys, once they get into power, they forget that their political parties emerged from the trade union movement.
Yes.
And I have a friend in very good friend in Guyana. In fact, at one point he was the General Secretary of the Caribbean Congress of Labour. And he said something to me that I have never forgotten. And he said that some of the people who continue to deny workers their rights and certain conditions of employment and whatever, they are the sons and daughters and the great-grandsons and daughters of those who fought vigorously for the liberation of exploited workers in the Caribbean.
Yes, sir.
And that is true. It is very sad. I mean, when we were being exploited, when we were being denied so many things by our colonial masters, we fought against those things. But it is so sad when you see that people of our very same race, our very same origin, we have given them an opportunity to do things differently, to make life better. And sometimes they forget it, and they do things that are not in the best interest of those workers, right? And we have to look at that very, very closely and seriously.
Yes, and that is why at Rebel Radio, we say that the trade union movement in the Caribbean should start looking back at itself. In other words, they should start reassert themselves into the political movement in the Caribbean, because they are the ones who, in many, as I said, they are the ones who formed the political parties, came out of the trade union movement. And the trade union movement should not distance itself from the political movement. As a matter of fact, they should be working together, because they should have one interest there, and that is the interest of the working class. They should never forget.
Yeah, I mean, public service unions are a little different to a private sector.
Yes.
In that a lot of the private sector unions, they give birth to the political parties.
Yes.
The public service is somewhat different. So while the public service unions will not necessarily have to be partisan, but I agree with you, they cannot escape from having positions on political issues, because every political issue affects your membership. It affects your members.
Yes.
And if things affect your members, you cannot be silent on those things. There are two things I believe people should never be silent on, because those things affect our very own livelihood, our way of life, is politics and religion.
Yes.
We cannot escape from that. Politics and religion impact on our lives. Yes. So why should we remain silent when it comes to those things? You know what I mean? And in the Caribbean, I notice if you speak on certain issues, I was just before you called me, I was just browsing, and accidentally I came across some comment that was made by a former politician background, former minister, and that was the first time I was hearing that, and he must have made that statement maybe about 4 years or 5 years ago, but I never heard it, and it involved me. So he was saying that if the economy collapses, blame the opposition, blame and some of the guys and so on and so forth, and blame Thomas later. No, his only reason for saying that is because I've always taken a position that the CBI, the CBI funds should not be the only thing that we rely on, because here it is, you are selling your citizenship. But that itself is not something that is sustainable. And in addition to that, you should be thinking, well, first of all, let me tell you straight. I have never been a supporter of selling citizenship. I believe there are other ways that you can respond.
Yes.
But to sell your citizenship, because there are people, no matter how careful you are, there are people who get fall through the cracks. And some criminals may not have your passport, and so on and so forth. But if you look at natural resources, you look at manufacturing, and you look at other things, there are things that are sustainable. No, I'm not saying that if we have a CBI program well organized and promoted, that will go over. I'm saying not sustainable. Therefore, you cannot totally rely on it. And that is my position. And because of that, put on the serious and that, my friend, applies to a lot of things. You speak about health, for the citizens, you speak about something, just because your position may differ a little from what the politician position is. You are attacked and you are labeled. And I think our leaders need to understand that we have to listen to people, look at it, analyze what is being said, and take a position, but cannot be because somebody's position not that obvious, not clear to yours, that you should need to listen to that. And I believe much of that
Tell me, hold on, Mr. Lita, you move your position?
No, I'm still there.
Okay, just because I'm getting some feedback, I'm wondering.
Okay, I'm still there. I'm just going to talk to me.
Yes. So, you indicated earlier on that so far your union has had a very successful year in negotiating salaries and other benefits for the public sector workers. Yes. So,
yes.
So as we speak, are there any outstanding issues on behalf of the public sector workers?
No, well, we have closed negotiations, as I said, for 24-27.
Yes.
And one of the things we were able to get is even people who are getting a government pension, but not all public officers get government pension. Those who were in the service prior to 1976 are receiving both social security and government pension. We were able to get government to provide an increase to them, and every 3 years they will get an increase. That is in addition to their social security pension. Now, we have a category of workers that were as established, and we have always taken that position that we should get rid of this nomenclature, non-established, as a program. Because non-established are people who are paid daily. They have daily rates and they are paid ordinary. But they are at a disadvantage in that the formula that we use to look all the bracket depend to what is used for established workers, referred to as pensionable workers.
Okay.
Also, so that is so for example, let's take a simple example. I entered the service as a non-established worker. My salary arguments says $4,000. Well, you entered the same time that I entered, and our salary are the same.
Okay.
But when you leave the service, your gratuity is going to be much more than mine, because the formula that you used to calculate your gratuity is different.
Oh.
And there are other benefits. There's entitlement to sick leave, study leave, and vacation leave, and so on is quite different. So we have been fighting for the abolishment of that, but we did not succeed. But what we were able to get is almost 100 positions have been upgraded to established. So we believe that is a great move. Yeah. We also have what we call a bridge pension. So the retirement age for public officers back home is 60 years, but you only get Social Security pension at 65.
Yes.
So a couple of years that we were able to negotiate, and we got what is referred to as a bridge pension. So what it means is that at 60, when you leave the service, government pays you a pension. And at 65 years, when you're 65, Social Security takes over.
All right.
With this round of negotiation, we were able to get that bridge pension applicable to non-established workers. And not only that, since the number of years used to calculate the Social Security pension is different to what the government used for government pension, if the Social Security pension when you're 65 happens to be less than what government that you get from government, when Social Security takes over, government will pay the difference. So that we believe is very significant.
Yes,
I can say there were a number of salary thing that goes even beyond retirement. So everything is everything is okay. It's okay.
Right.
It's okay for now.
I want to acknowledge the presence of Miss Coretta McDonald, and Miss Coretta is the from the Guyana Teachers Union, but she's also a member of Parliament. Miss McDonald, good afternoon to you.
Well, good afternoon to you, good afternoon to your panelists, yes. And good afternoon to Jamaica and everybody else who's listening to us. Yes. Today is a very exciting day in Guyana, a regional election. So you can imagine the buzz around the Guyana, the entire Guyana, 83,000 square miles. You can imagine the buzz.
Yes, of course. I can well imagine that it is an exciting day and the voters are now turning out at the polling booths.
Yes, of course, and I'm also running the ward because I've been accredited, so I'm running the ward, making sure that persons on the outside who are having difficulties finding their names, I can go online, find their names, and tell them where they're supposed to be voting. Because what we have happening at these elections is that persons who are accustomed to be voting at a particular polling station, the Guyana Elections Commission, they have now increased their polling stations, and so you find persons who would have been voting at polling station X all of their lives, they have now been moved to another polling station. Of course, they did not check before, so when they turn up at that polling station, they're finding out now that your name is not here, and nobody could tell them there where their name is, where they're supposed to be voting, because they're not voting. There isn't a voting agent from the Guyana Elections Commission to direct persons as to where you ought to go to vote. So you find some persons are very, very frustrated, and they're standing there. But good luck for us. My party, the APNU, the Partnership for National Unity, we have our persons standing on the outside of the polling station so that we can assist persons who are having such difficulties.
Oh, yes. I know that must be useful. Both of you, I'm asking you kindly to just hold it for me there while we take a break. This is Rebel Radio and we are on Workers' Time. Let's go for a break.
Okay.
Yes, just hold it there for me.
It's the Everybody Sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagleyburg Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
Tools, hardware, and supplies is turning up the heat this summer with your super saving summer sale. Prices are slashed on everything you need to fix up your home. Beautiful tiles, sleek doors, top quality windows, modern sanitary ware, exclusive flooring, and more. At Tools, hardware, and supplies, we have you covered for the summer.
So come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hardware.
And vibes, and through it all there's a glow inside. Let's keep our shine alive.
From the market to the factory floors, from the hillside green to golden shores,
we're reaching heights, energy that lights the sky. Shine bright, Jamaica. Shine bright, Jamaica. Feel it, feel it. Together we climb. JPS Jamaica. Together we shine.
Shine from the ends, shine with your family, shine with your friends. Light up the streets and make the vibes blend. Your JPS and make the shine never end.
Welcome back to Rebel Radio, and we're on Workers' Time, and we have Mr. Thomas Letang from the Dominica Republic Service Union and Miss Coretta McDonald from the Guyana Teachers Union, but she's also a member of Parliament. Yes, Coretta, you were telling us about the activities, and today, my listeners and viewers, let me just remind you, today is election day in Guyana. So, do you have any idea of how high or low the turnout has been?
Well, what I can say to you, Desmond, is that in almost all of the polling stations around the Georgetown, which is the capital city, the voter turnout has been very well. We've not seen the huge crowds that we would normally see, but you've had voters steady. So you don't have those long lines. At this time, which is just about 5:30, with half an hour more to go, you are seeing a huge influx of persons rushing down to the polling stations to ensure that they exercise that democratic right. And so I am noticing at least 4 of the polling stations that I've just stopped at, you're having huge numbers of voters there. Of course, we have the hitches, because in our minds, we believe that the Guyana Elections Commission was not prepared. They were not ready for this elections, and so you're having all of these teaching issues. We're just hoping that coming down to crunch time, maybe at about quarter to 6 or somewhere there, we're not going to have persons being disenfranchised because the polling station closes at 6. I'm hoping that we're not going to have that happening. I'm also hoping that with the counting of the ballots, that we're not going to have persons, because we usually have persons surrounding polling stations, driving fear into the agents there who are counting the ballots. I'm hoping that we're not going to have that happening this time around, and that this entire process is going to be free, fair, and transparent.
Okay, all right. And well, as I know that the trade unions in Guyana, I know that they have issues, and well, this election, they will address some of those issues, the outcome of these elections. And I know that the trade unions are open. Some trade unions want to see a change. And
well, of course. Yeah. As we speak, there is a matter filed contempt of court order against the government for failing to adhere to a ruling of law where the High Court would have ruled that the government reinstate the deduction of the dues that they stopped with immediate effect when the teachers took industrial action in February of last year. A whole year plus would have passed, and they have not yet recognized and obeyed that rule of law. That matter went to the appeals court, and the appeals court upheld the decision that was made in the High Court, and the government still refused to honor that obligation. So right now there's a contempt of court order that is before the judge, where the Guyana Teachers Union is challenging them to obey the rule of the law. And this is what we see happening. As a matter of fact, let me tell you what has happened today. Today we have seen persons from the People's Progressive Party, and of course, you know, today we have no minister, we have no president, because we're all voting. We're all citizens who are exercising their democratic right to vote.
Right.
But we have seen those who held office of minister, they're going into the polling stations and trying to intimidate the folks in the polling stations, which should not happen. But this is the attitude of the People's Progressive Party and their agents, and they're supposed to, this is their attitude. And so I wouldn't be surprised if at some polling stations outside of Georgetown, especially those polling stations that are within the constituencies that the People's Progressive Party control, their strongholds. We are not going to be surprised if we get reports that they are surrounding those polling stations, which is not supposed to happen. But many times you don't have enough police manpower to man the polling station, and so you find all these kinds of craziness happening. Much more than that, election, the People's Progressive Party wanted to have number of polling stations. They wanted it to be removed from 47 to 66 polling stations within their strongholds. Now the law says that it must be done 21 days before. Now they were trying to bully the commissioners and the judge, as well as the chairperson, and surprisingly enough, this time around, the chairperson of the Guyana Elections Commission, she voted with the opposition commissioners saying, no, it cannot happen. It was supposed to have been done 21 days before, so 4 days before, it cannot happen. But look, our people are tired of the PTP. They're tired of the corruption. They're tired of the discrimination. They're tired of the drug trafficking. They're tired of the extrajudicial killing. They're tired of the racism. They're tired of the discrimination. And you name it, our people are just tired of all of these unsolved murders and people doing whatever they feel like doing. So I am saying all of that to say we are going to see change at this election.
Okay. Well, let us see what.
But I must note too. Must note too that there have been plans already put in place to rig these elections, but we are going to continue to be alert. We have been visiting the polling stations. We notice persons voting, which is against the law. You can be voting, and then they're taking a picture of the ballot and sending it to
But
vote for us, then we will give you X amount of monies. And in order for us to be sure that you would have voted for us, you have to take a picture of the ballot when you would have completed your voting. We've seen 2 of that for today, and I'm hoping that
we lost Coretta there.
it's possible. Okay. They are going to be. I mean, this is absolutely wrong, but it is what the PPP encourages.
But I recall that there was a ruling that no cell phones would be allowed at the polling stations.
Yes, you were supposed to have lodged your cell phone right at the table before you enter the voting compartment. And I am not sure why that has not been adhered to, but we have already seen pictures of 2 persons, one
we're having some phone issues with
this party at the top for the elections and at the bottom for the regional elections, which is absolutely wrong.
Okay, all right. Well, I can say, well then, I hope that things will continue peacefully for the rest of the day, and then the people will be given their opportunities to cast their votes in a peaceful manner.
Yes.
So, we will talk tomorrow, or we will talk on Wednesday. Yes. Thank you very much. We'll talk on Wednesday.
Okay, my dear. Thank you so much for having me, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Okay. All right. Yes. Yes, that was Miss Coretta McDonald there from the Guyana Teachers Union, and as I said, she's also a member of Parliament. So, Mr. Litang, what are your final comments?
Well, I just want to encourage union leaders all over the Caribbean to be very, very vigilant, be active, and do not think for one moment that things are good, things that we would want it to be.
Yes.
We have to recognize that we have to continue the struggle. And I always believe that if you think it's too much for you, then get out of it.
Okay.
But we should not be laid back. There's a lot of work to be done. The Caribbean is rapidly, I do not want to use the word recolonized, but the elements of colonization are with us. We have seen a lot of things happening, things that our forefathers fought against. They are resurfacing in the region, and our people are rapidly becoming second-class citizens. Who can address those issues better than the trade unionists.
Okay.
So we have a lot of work to be done. We have to get the young workers, the young people on board, because they have their own interests, which might not be what we really think they should be. So we need to look at that. People are so comfortable now with, especially young people, with partying and having a good time, that they hardly think of the future. They hardly think of their life beyond retirement. They don't think of that. We have a job to do, and that is to educate them, to train them, to bring them on board, and to work with them. So we have a lot that we need to do, and I believe that is what it calls for. More, we have to be more active, more vibrant than we have ever been.
Okay. I want to thank you very much this evening, sir, for your time this evening. And
You're welcome. Yeah, it was a long time, man. I'm happy you're available too.
Yes. Okay, and just take good care of yourself. Yes, that. All right. Mr. Thomas Lee Tang there of the trade, the General Secretary of the Dominica Public Service Union. Yes, and as you heard him there telling us what is happening in Dominica, and you also heard from Miss you also heard from Guyana. Yes. You heard from Coretta McDonald. And they are, as I said, they are today's election day over in Guyana. So she is on the she's on duty. Yes. This is very interesting to see what is happening. And as we say that
7, 6,
time and time again we have repeated on this platform about the importance of the trade unions, standing up for the rights of the workers. And one of the things that we believe here at Rebel Radio, that the trade unions, they need to work closer with the political movement, because the trade union movement is the grandfather of the political movement, and the political movement is working on behalf of the people. That is supposed to be their mandate. And the trade union movement is working on behalf of the people. So therefore, these two organizations need to work closer so that they can put in place plans and programs to address the issues facing the workers. Yes. And we have been trying, we don't stop. We have been trying to strengthen the Caribbean Congress of Labor, right? What we want to do, we want to, well, right now, the unions have not, there are some unions who are not members of the Caribbean Congress of Labor. What we are trying to do is to get the union movement across the Caribbean to join up with strengthen the Caribbean Congress of Labor, right? Yes, because that is supposed to be the voice of the workers in the Caribbean. Yes, the Caribbean Congress of Labor. And as one of the things that I want my listeners and viewers to understand and know, that the issues affecting the labor movement in the campaign in the Caribbean are similar. Yes. I'm just seeing a report here now that says more than 1.2 million immigrants disappeared from the labor force from January through the end of July, according to preliminary Census Bureau data analyzed by the Pew Research Center. That includes people who are in the country illegally. This is a report now coming out of the United States. Yes, and what it is saying that under the President Trump, the preliminary data shows that the workforce, right, more than 1.2 million, yes, of these workers. And that includes people who are in the country illegally as well as legal residents. Yes. Immigrants make up almost 20% of the U.S. workforce. And that data shows that 45% of workers in farming, fishing, and forestry are immigrants, according to the Pew senior researcher Stephanie Kramer. Right? And as you know, they're having an issue over there. Yeah. Yes, Mr. Morrison.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I told you that I am calling you at 4:30. Oh, you have seven.
The phone went dead, and I didn't realize it.
Okay.
And when I didn't hear your call, when I didn't get the call, I said, wait, let me check the phone. And I just recharged the phone to about 30 something.
Well, you have 7.
So I decided to call it.
We have 7 minutes remaining on the program, so that is for you to say what you want to say.
No problem.
Yes. Well,
so go ahead.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
So let me thank you very much, sir, Reverend Radio, for the work you're doing in getting the workers and the unions involved and your programs.
Yes.
And you're doing it not only for Jamaica, but you're doing for the entire Caribbean.
Yes, sir.
Very ambitious.
Yes.
And you're doing more than what the other stations are doing. So congratulations.
Yes.
Election is around the corner. And you know Christmas comes in September. There are so many promises and gifts. The latest one being the minimum wage.
Yes.
I don't know if the Prime Minister is serious, because to promise to move the minimum wage, the double minimum wage, that is something that I'll have to take with a pinch of salt, knowing who the minimum wage affects, knowing the industries that will be affected, and knowing what is possible from what is not possible.
Yes.
When it comes to the minimum wage sector. For example, you start with the household workers.
Yes.
Well, put it this way. The persons who are employed to the household are workers are the employer.
Yes.
And we have to be very careful how we think of with adjusting the minimum wage in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
The security guard industry, I tell you that we have been negotiating with Hawkeye for security guards at the British High Commission since May last year.
Yes.
And we are yet to sign an agreement.
1 year gone.
But what we're talking about is less than 20% in the first year and less than 7% in the second. So I'm telling you that proposal from the Prime Minister is not realistic, you know, and I understand the desperation to get back into Jamaica House, but it should never be at the expense of the workers and the nation.
Yes.
It's not affordable.
That is what that.
There are a number of other proposals. There are a number of other proposals out there, and I look on to the contracts. The workers are working on these fixed-term contracts. For example, workers in the bauxite industry and right across. It is almost 60-70% of the working population across Jamaica. It is not a good thing for industries like bauxite and aluminum sector to having fixed-term contract. You cannot have a housing trust with a fixed-term contract because you don't know if you're going to get back the contract at the end of the 2 or the 3rd year. So the People's National Party proposal to deal with the fixed-term contract is an excellent one, and my union support that 100%.
Yes.
We also support the proposal to take the tax off the overtime rate.
Yes, sir.
Up to a maximum of $6,000. In fact, I would be happy to take it totally off the Royal Cabinet. I'm going to push that the tax be taken off completely. Things like the gratuity in the hotels. That is an excellent idea. The gratuity in the hotels should be paid to the workers. And I know that management don't do that. There are managers in some hotels who use some of the gratuity to do a lot of capital projects in the hotel.
Yes.
But if we get back to the issue of the security guard, what I think is needed for the security guard now is the matter of social protection. They have no medical arrangements, or if they do very minimum, they have no pension arrangements. And I think what should be done is where companies do not have pension schemes for their workers, and workers have served 15, 20 years, 30 years, I think the workers should be compensated under the redundancy payment arrangements.
Okay.
Because in any case, they have been terminated. So I think there's much to try coming out of the elections campaign.
Yes.
And it will be very interesting to see what happens when the election is through.
Okay. Well, we have to leave it.
We are proposing that a social pact be developed between ourselves and the unions and the People's National Party.
Okay.
So that we can sit down at the end of the day and we can put in place arrangements to ease the burden of the workers, to make the workers more productive.
Okay. Well, we have to leave it there for today, Mr. Morrison.
I must apologize for this.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But I'm available at short notice.
Yes, sir. And Wednesday is the big day, so we will see what will happen on Wednesday. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
All right, sir. Yes, that was Mr. Vincent Morrison, the UK's president of UK's, and that is where we have to. That is the end of workers' time for today. Yes, and I want to say thanks to my participants there. We had Miss Coretta McDonald, Mr. Vincent Morrison, and Mr. Lee Tang. So that's workers' time. Let us take a break.
It's the Everybody Sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagleyburg Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
Tools, hardware, and supplies is turning up the heat this summer with your super saving summer sale. Prices are slashed on everything you need to fix up your home. Beautiful tiles, sleek doors, top quality windows, modern sanitary ware, exclusive flooring, and more. At Tools, hardware, and supplies, we have you covered for the summer.
So come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hardware.
And vibes, and through it all there's a glow inside. Let's keep our shine alive.
From the market to the factory floors, from the hillside green to golden shores,
we're reaching heights, energy that lights the sky. Shine bright, Jamaica. Shine bright, Jamaica. Feel it, feel it. Together we climb. JBS Jamaica. Together we shine.
Shine from the ends, shine with your family, shine with your friends. Light up the streets and make the vibes blend. Your JPS and make the shine never end. I have ended up in court for criticizing government already, or MP, to me for libel. Yeah. We've been down that road, Desmond.
To comment during the Frankly Speaking show, you first need to open the video that is being streamed live. Look for the chat box on the side or bottom of the video player. This is where you can type your message. Click inside these, or even ask questions. Once you've typed your message, press the enter key on your keyboard or click the send button. A comment will then appear in the chat for everyone watching the live.
Good day. Good day. Good day. This is the final podcast before the general elections on Wednesday, September 3. So, we decided, of course, what else but politics? We'd take a look at the latest polls. We decided we'd review how the debates went. and we'd engage those among us bold enough to predict what the seat count will be on Wednesday. Thank you all for joining us. Remember to subscribe to the Frankly Speaking Jamaica YouTube channel. We invite your comments and questions during the podcast. Please follow the instructions given at the top of the podcast just now. Just go to the comment section and let's have your questions and comments. And we'll take as many of them as we can during the broadcast. A special welcome to commentators. Lloyd B. Smith, CEO of the Western Mirror newspaper, acclaimed commentator, former member of parliament, publisher, businessman, and commentator Patrick Maitland, who is many, many things, and former freelance journalist. Well, we're not going to have George Lawson today. I think at the last minute we have had difficulty reaching. With me today are regular panelists Winnie Anderson Brown and Desmond Richards. Now, we want to get going right away. Here is the start of the Gleaner's report outlining their poll results today. That is today, Sunday. Gleaner, August 31, and that's by Kimoni Francis. The opposition People's National Party has opened a gap over the ruling Jamaica Labour Party, according to the findings of the latest RJR Gleaner Commission Don Anderson poll. So the Gleaner started their report today. And it says 37 point, with just 3 days left before Jamaica heads to the polls, Jamaicans head to the polls, 37.6% of the 1,010 respondents in the poll indicated that they will vote for the PNP, while 34.5% plan to mark their X for the JLP. This gives the PNP a 3.1 percentage point lead, which is just outside the margin of error. I said the margin of error was 3%. And the polls were conducted by Don Anderson's Market Research Services Limited from August 22 to 25. And they dealt with surveyed individuals 18 and older across all Jamaican parishes. So when you go around down into the rest of the text, and we were reading there from the view, they indicated they did all the breakdown and so on. And they gave also the undecided numbers and so forth. So we'll come to those details as well. So let's start by asking Lloyd B, you tell us how you see these polls and whether they are significant. Lloyd B, are you hearing us?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Am I the one you have?
Yes, I'm asking you to give us a sense of how you see these polls and whether they are significant.
Well, first of all, definitely the polls are significant because they come at a penultimate moment in the election cycle, where we only have a few more days before the Jamaican populace goes to the poll. What is significant is that the PMP has in fact re-emerged. Previously, it did appear as if it was losing momentum, a momentum that it had had since the results of the local government election, which gave the party a credit on the basis that it not only garnered a large number of popular votes over the JLP, but also won a significant number of parish council seats. And that had given the party sufficient confidence to zero in on the general election campaign, which it set out to do and has maintained that momentum. I think what has happened is that for some time the JLP has, in my estimation, been winning the. As you know, in election campaign, you have the air war, which would involve the radio, the TV, the social media.
Social media, yes.
Yeah. They seem to have been having an edge there by virtue of the resources that it has. Interesting also, and this is something post-election we need to dig into a little bit more, the extent to which an incumbent government uses government resources as part of its electioneering campaign, because this has been very blatant and somehow it has not garnered that much discussion. At the same time, I think that where the PNP has been strong is on the ground.
All right. We're coming back to you, Lloyd B, on some of those specifics. I want to ask Patrick to give us his impression on whether these polls are significant and his first overall feeling. Patrick?
Definitely the polls are significant. But we still question the accuracy of the Don Anderson polls, because even the last election, I don't recall they said that the JLP would have had a landslide. It was more of a tie. They were expecting both parties to come out neck and neck, and yet the JLP had a landslide in the last elections. However, I'm not going to discredit Don Anderson poll totally, because it's no doubt an indication as to what is going on the ground. What I know too was that
Let him just finish his opener, Desmond, and then your time. Desmond, let him finish his opener, and then you just asking him to finish.
All right. The PNP was campaigning much harder than the JLP before, like the last couple of months. And so that would have been responsible for they didn't lose much grounds while the JLP was gaining some traction. And now it's obvious they are picking up some traction. I can feel that they are picking up some traction. But to determine exactly the status of both parties, that is what we're still questioning, right?
Okay, all right, fine. Desmond wanted to ask a question, and then we're going to go.
I wonder if Patrick questioned the blue dot poll. Wonder if he questioned the blue.
I was about to make. Well, to be honest, I didn't even remember that one. That one too.
Let us just remind listeners, viewers, that the blue dot polls came out on Friday, and they gave a high level of favorability for the JLP and for Prime Minister Andrew Holness. For the JLP and for Holness. Like the JLP enjoyed a 46% favorability in terms of people who intend to vote for them, and the PNP 33%. So the difference is massive. It's a 13-point difference. And they were saying the JLPs was actually growing. That's increasing from where it was in May, 35% to 31 for the PNP.
The blue dot poll remind me of a poll that the late Paul Robertson did in the 1980s to counter the Professor Carl Stone poll.
Yeah.
I remember that is how the blue dot poll is laughable. But one of the things that commentators must remember, the Jamaican voters have been given the two parties which have formed government since 1944, 2 terms, until P.J. Patterson. But one of the things that we keep on forgetting about that third term with P.J. Patterson, a significant factor in that third term was the presence of Eddie Siaga as leader of the JLP. The JLP was a divided force, unable to mobilize its forces. Right. And you recall, as soon as the private sector convinced Eddie to leave and put in Bruce Golding, that the JLP won the 2007 elections.
Yeah.
So I am of the view that the electorate is back to its 2 terms syndrome, and therefore I see that there's going to be a change of government on Wednesday, the 3rd of December. I feel I am strongly of that view.
And Desmond, even so, even that were to turn out, this is only a 3-point lead. Now we know a lot will depend on what's happening in the individual constituencies, some of which were won by such a narrow margin. But this is not a clear situation of, they're not far apart by the Don Anderson polls.
Yes, but and when I talk with and see what is happening on the ground, I see some major shifts. So, for example, what I'm saying is that those constituencies which traditionally voted for PNP, they are going to return. I am not saying that I don't see a 49-15 victory margin. I don't see that. But the incumbent government is going to lose.
All right. Lloyd B, talk to us a little bit about that incumbency and the two-term syndrome, and whether you think those poll findings are credible. And I want you to consider, as you were saying, Lloyd B, that the JLP had been gaining ground, and now for us to see in a matter of weeks since the last poll that the PNP has opened up a lead.
Let me dive first of all into the Blue Dot polls, which I frankly do not regard with much, alacrity. The fact of the matter is that if you historically look at politics in Jamaica, it's very rare that any party has such a wide margin. And I don't know how they do their thing. I'm not a cephalogist, but it seems to me that their modus operandi is a bit off. So I don't even want to go there. I would rely more on the Don Anderson polls for our discussion as far as I'm concerned. The incumbency syndrome has always been part of the body politic of Jamaica from the days of universal adult suffrage, 1944 until now. There is this saying, room for rent, apply within, when I go, you go in. And it has always been like that. We had one instance where PJ Pattis was able to capitalize, as Desmond said, on the tremendous unpopularity and also the division in the JLP. This time round, both parties are poised in terms of their bases. If you look at the Don Anderson poll, and this has also been a traditional fact, the PNP has a larger base, always had. And what this means is that once the PNP is sufficiently united and has all its base behind it, it becomes a formidable force. In 2020, what happened is that a lot of comrades stayed home and did not vote. Plus, we had the specter of the COVID situation. So for me, 2020 was an anomaly and cannot be factored in the general scheme of things when one analyzes electoral victories and defeats. I think that one was an anomaly. As it stands now, it's going to be a ground war. And what I am more interested in at this stage is not the overall popular vote, because as I always say in my commentaries, we have two types of politics in Jamaica. We have the wholesale politics, which looks at the overall national trends. But there's also the retail politics, which looks now succinctly at the constituencies one by one. And in our system of first past the post, what the PNP has to be careful of is that even though you may have the popular vote, you may not necessarily win the number of seats. So it's going to take a lot of organization. It's going to take a lot of cash. And in this regard, the JLP is awash in cash. I think the PNP is doing quite reasonably well, but I have no doubt that the JLP has the edge there when it comes to financing its campaign. What the PNP has, however, is that its base is more energized than the JLP base because there is some amount of fallout in some of the constituencies because of the quality of representation of the incumbent JLP MPs. If you dig into the JLP environment, you will find that there's some amount of disaffection in a number of constituencies where the JLP has an incumbent. And this will play out in the results of the elections on September 3.
Right. Patrick, I want to bring you back in. Lord, we'll come back to you. Patrick, I want to bring you back in.
All right.
I wanted to make a response to that, Patrick, but I also want to ask you about the not sure and those who said they're not going to vote. The not sure number in the latest one is 16.2%. Go ahead, Patrick.
All right. So let me just look at a few things firstly. Remember, the PNP did just change a leader. And for some reason, Jamaican always tie up its politics with its leaders. And that's why the PNP was able to keep Patterson in for so long because of the disunity with Siaga for that long period of time. So let's not forget, there's still some level of disunity with Golin in the PNP right now. And there are several constituencies around the country, especially like even in Westmoreland with Colin Camp, with Dayton. Right. There's a lot of disunity, pockets of disunity in the PNP as well. And so that may affect a couple of the seats that once people think is traditional PNP seats. Now, Lloyd B mentioned that the base of the PNP was much bigger than the JLP. I think some time ago, Carl Stone did say something like that. But, recently, something happened in Westmoreland. The Sheffield division, the gentleman who was PNP at the time, he won it by roughly 1,000 votes. And normally the PNP would have won that Sheffield division by 900 votes. However, the gentleman switched to JLP and he won it with 1,200 votes. And guess what? The gentleman who run for the PNP still get the 900 votes, right? So what I think has happened in recent time, the JLP seem to be doing some of the things that the PNP has been doing at the grassroots level. By one of the main things is the enumeration of voters. They have a massive enumeration of voters going on now, and so they are really swelling their numbers. Right? I know it in Westmoreland and I know it in several constituencies. And I heard that that's the strategy they are using because they are not going to depend on the people who normally would vote. So
it's more than a message. It's a grassroots organization.
Yes.
Patrick,
right.
Patrick, why do you want the JLP to win the next term? Tell us.
Well, you putting me on the spot with it because I wasn't giving any opinion as yet, but I can give my opinion. All right, so maybe 3 reasons, right? One, I think the JLP is on a move right now that it should not be disrupted because one, they, according to the records, they are creating an environment for business. Inflation is down. The debt to GDP ratio is going down. Crime is going down, which was a big problem for the years. And overall, I don't think the PNP is quite ready as yet to take over because we just get a new leader and you can see the shuffling around, the different spokesmen, how they handle their portfolio. You can see that they're not quite ready for the leadership role of Jamaica yet either. So, on that score, I would give the JLP another term, right? Not saying that they are perfect, and there's a lot of weaknesses that has been put, that they have displayed. One of them is the perceived corruption, right? You can't ignore that, and even some arrogance in terms of how they handle certain projects. But overall, I would give them another try. And I think better for the Jamaican economy. Because you can see the last 10 years, they have really turned around the economy, right? In most areas. I would want to stop the progress as like you would have said 10 years ago, right? So I would continue like.
All right, I know you went sideways to answer Desmond's, but I just really wanted to respond to that.
The undecided.
Uncommitted. Not sure they're going to vote. The voting levels.
Right. So most people still have the view, and rightly so, that both parties are not doing what they are supposed to do. Right? And if you want, I can use my area of agriculture. I'm not pleased how both parties handle the agricultural sector. Right? It's not moving in the right direction, despite some level of growth, and despite incentives that government they put in, and despite fixing up things. We are now experiencing the highest level of imports. We're at 1.6 billion, right? Just in agriculture. And if you look at the overall trade balance, we are just keep importing more and more. And what the PNP just proposed about the 3 million tax, all that's gonna do is to fuel more imports, because people gonna have more money to spend, and they're just gonna try to buy imported goods, right? I mean, it happened even since the JLP moved the tax threshold to what, nearly 2 million now. You can see the level of expenditure going on, but it's good still because the government collect more GCT, right? So overall, the managing of the economy, they put it on a growth path. Both parties really don't get it right up to now.
All right. Desmond, I wanted to respond to Patrick. What Patrick was sounding was, and I want also you to make a response to the comment about the not sure. 16%, even at this point, are not sure whether they're going to vote. 28% say they will not vote.
Well, it is that to me is a clear indication of the Jamaican populace dissatisfaction with the political parties. That is a clear, it is a protest sign from the voters. Now, you know, one of the things that the economic analysts, when they analyze this thing about growth, now, what they don't point out, and Franklin and Lloyd, you are both in rural areas. They don't point out the impact of government policies on the life of ordinary Jamaican. Now, these are the issues, the things that affect the daily lives of the people. Are they improving? Are the people able to get water? What about their roads? What about medical supplies? What about their livelihood to meet the cost of living? And when I talk to the people in the rural parishes, what I see is that the progress that we are talking about, the prosperity and the growth here, it has not filtered down into the lives of the ordinary people. And this is one of the main reasons why the voters are staying away from the polls. Main reason. And as far as Patrick answer as to why the JLP should be given a third chance, is, remember, the JLP is not a new party. As I said repeatedly, the ills and misfortunes of Jamaica, the socio-economic and political ills and misfortunes of Jamaica must be laid at the feet of both the PNP and the JLP. Now, for the past 9 years, the JLP has been in power. And the question is, And this is the question that we are going to see how the people respond to it on Wednesday. Is that if these policies that Maitland is talking about, Maitland et al., if they have affected the lives of the ordinary person, whether PNP or JLP, in a positive way, we will see the results on Wednesday.
The results seem positive for the JLP that way. All right, Winnie, you want to take a couple of comments, and then we're going back to Lloyd B. Lloyd B, once you are in the Western Jamaica, yeah, you know the sayings about Western Jamaica, where that goes, the country might go. I'd love you to make mention of that, whether it's a truism or not, and how does the West look. But Winnie, you wanted to take a couple of comments and pick them up?
Yes, I want to make my own comment from a female perspective. And also, I'll read this comment first. First of all, we have Rubian Forbes saying good afternoon to everyone. And forgive me if I miscall your name, Omoro Griffiths. Thank you, sir. You more understanding the Jamaican people. So I am
he was referring to Des. He came in while Desmond was speaking, I think.
Right. So I am going to speak for myself as one of those not sure yet what I'm going to do on Wednesday. It's not just for some of us. I must say that the only party I've been a part of was the National Democratic Movement. And from time to time, I go back to those days and the goals that we hoped to achieve then. So the third parties are there, although they don't get serious consideration. There's some of us who are still not sure. And it's not because we don't love Jamaica. It's because of the things that we see and hear. When we talk about the JLP base, the PNP base rather, that's more historical. I don't know what is recent, because the JLP has so many young people. Most of the young people that I meet all over the island, they are saying third term loading. That is what I see. The only thing is that the younger voters, it has been said over the years, are less reliable. But there's so many things in politics for them now that I would not be surprised if they turn out in large numbers.
All right. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you. So, Lloyd B.
Yeah, well, just to quickly point out to my good lady there that the latest London poll did indicate, when you look at the statistics available, that the PMP's base is larger than the JLP base, and the JLP base has dwindled somewhat because of its reliance on the younger voters, some of whom have now backtracked and gone back to being uncommitted or not made up their minds. And this has always been the psychology of young voters, who tend to flip-flop and are the most difficult to get to the polls. Because for one, many of them believe in immediate gratification, as against the older voters who are looking not just at a belly full, but at governance issues such as integrity and accountability and transparency. But I'll leave that as it is. Your major question, Franklin, had to do with the West. Yes, the West is going to decide this election, undoubtedly so. Undoubtedly so. Because for starters, when you look at what now entails, the JLP in 2020 literally swept all of the West. In St. James, for example, they took all the seats. In Hanover, in Westmoreland, right? In Trelawney. So for the PMP to make a sufficient comeback and to be first past the post, it will have to take back a substantial number of seats in Western Jamaica.
Just as a reminder on that, you were saying that in 2020, if you remember the details, the JLP won St. James. How many seats that?
I think it was 5.
In Hanover, won all of those seats.
Another is two. Another is two.
Right. And in Westmoreland?
I think Westmoreland could be what?
Three.
Four, and I'm not.
Three.
I don't have my text in front
Westmoreland
of
is
me.
three.
Three, Latvia. And
East,
in Trelawney,
Central, and yeah, three. That's right.
three. And in Trelawney, two. So
Trelawney is two.
Yes, the JLP blew away the entire West.
Yes.
No matter what happens, otherwise,
12 seats in the West.
Yes, continue, Latvia. I interrupted you. And let me just take some comments before you pick up again, Latvia. Winnie, go ahead.
Yes.
Coming back to
So
you,
that
Latvia.
Shelo, she says, good afternoon. Love the conversation. I definitely cannot vote for a man who leads a party who can't tell me how he has earned his wealth. Yes, and she continues to say, I remember clearly the PM said that he doesn't need his almost 9 million and he can give it back. So why he hasn't been clear on how he has made his money? Yes, and Amoro Griffiths, I don't think buying votes should be a part of election. This does not help the country for persons who with sense like me. And another comment from Shayla. Yes. A next factor we should look out for on Wednesday is the weather forecast. I see there is a 70% chance of rain island-wide. Will that affect the vote?
So we'll come back to that. So, Lord B, we interrupted you. You were making the point. And for those just joining us, Lord B is the editor-in-chief at the Western Mirror, is a commentator and former MP. Yes, Lord B. So you were saying that the JLP won all of those seats the last time around.
Yes. Well, from all indications, from what we are now seeing, this is not going to happen again. A number of factors. Once there's for starters, there is the incumbency aspect of it. But outside of that, also, there has been an overall poor level of representation coming from the JLP incumbents. We saw, for example, what happened in Westmoreland, where the sitting MP was unceremoniously booted out. And there have been rumblings coming from other constituencies. In Central, for example, it has been a bit surprising that the JLP decided to have George Wright run again. And I think
I gather that George Wright is turning out to be a fantastic candidate, and might win the seat.
He does enjoy a certain amount of popularity. I think, on the other hand, what may go in his favor is the fact that Vaz, has somewhat waned in terms of his level of effectiveness as a constituency representative. And this may well cause him to lose the seat. But I suspect that with the swing, because remember now that in the very final analysis, most people who vote in this election are not necessarily just voting for the candidate. They are voting for the party leader and the party. Our elections are usually like a presidential election. So on that basis, if the PMP has this swing, which it now has, and it continues to have that swing, then that swing could enable even an unpopular or not so popular candidate to be first past the post. And this has happened before and can happen again.
In St. James, what is the seat that you would say people should look out for? That might
it's going to be difficult for the PMP to beat Bartlett and Shank. So those two I'm giving to the JLP for starter, and that's East Central and Northwestern.
Northwest, St. James and East Central, yes.
And East Central. Those definitely going to stay with the JLP. I mean, if either Bartlett or Shank should lose, then that would be cataclysmic. The remaining seats are up for grabs. Central, where I ran and won in 2011, Heward Clark has embedded himself in that constituency. the PMP has flip-flopped over the years in not settling down with a candidate of some substance. This time round, it has Janice Allen, who is well known in the Bay, and in fact, her campaign slogan is Bay Girl. I think she's going to give Leroy a run for its money, but I am still giving Leroy the edge because that constituency was cut in favor of the JLP from day one. And it has remained, in terms of its topography and everything else, it tends to favor the JLP. So for any PMP to win it, you have to really come good. And I'm not trying to say that I was that good, but the fact is that I think my being the governor helped. Anyway, let me continue. Desmond, don't say anything about that. So
Janice Allen was the spokesperson for the
tourism.
On tourism.
Tourism, yeah. Right.
Okay.
The seat that is, two seats that are likely to go to the PMP are South and West Central. West Central, which is now represented by Marlene Malawu Fort, is definitely up for grabs because Mrs. Fort has not been an effective member of parliament. I think she put a nail in her coffin when she recently said at the Sam Sharp mass meeting that promising her constituents that if she's elected, they will see her more often. Now, what does that tell you?
Really?
That's not that sentence. Right? She's up against a young academician, Dr. Andre Horton, who lost to her before, but to his credit, he has stayed.
He lost before, though, Lady.
That's what I'm saying, that he lost before. But to his credit, he stayed in the constituency. He never went away. You know, a lot of people, when they lose, you don't see them again until when election comes around again. But he has remained in the constituency, very visible. And this time around, I think he has a good chance of upsetting the apple cart. But I don't know what his resources are like because Malawu Fort has a vast war chest behind her. And this would keep her in office. Over in South, which for some time had been a PMP stronghold from the days of...
I was going to ask you if that is a PMP seat, or was that considered a PMP seat?
Well, it's what I would call a weather vane.
For so long.
West Central is a weather vane seat. The only person who may have held it for a while was Francis Tollo. It has flip-flopped from Labour to PMP for quite a while.
Okay.
Right? I think Francis Tollo may have been the only one who had it for 2 terms also, but we have had a number of persons who have run in that seat and won, both on the JLP side and on the PMP side. So it's a seat that can go either way, and it tends to go the way of the national swing. So this is why I suspect that the PMP has a better chance this time around with the young professor. And if I may just complete the picture, Desmond. In South, we have Nikisha Burchell, and a lot is said about her figure and all that. It has become an issue in the campaign. I've been targeting her figure, you know. And to be honest, Desmond, she does have a figure, you know. It's quite voluptuous. But anyway.
See what we do to women.
She's going up against the incumbent, Oba Davis, and he's running for his life. She's giving him a run for his money. Former mayor, and a likable person. He's my good friend, I must say. But this time around, I think he's going to get a good fight. I wouldn't want to call it at this stage, but if I was forced to do so, I would give Miss Burchell the edge, again, because of the national swing, which always plays a role where you have tight racing.
All right, thanks, Lord B. Desmond, you
Lord B, which seat the former... No, I'm asking Lord B. Remind me, Lord B, which seat the former mayor, which seat the former Labour minister used to represent again?
South.
With former
South,
who?
Derek Kelly.
Former
Talking Derek Kelly.
South, the one that Nikisha Burchell and Homer Davis are now vying for.
Okay. Because I believe like that seat is likely to go to the PNP.
Yes,
like
it
like
has
you like
because
yeah,
if you look at the
like
local
you,
government, if you look at the local government result, the PNP won most of the seats there.
yes. Well, as the saying goes that if you want to if whoever take the West will take the election. You know, the JLP has 12 seats in the West. So if the PNP is to win the election, they will have to take a substantial number of those 12.
They need at least 7.
Yes.
They need at least 7.
And I am in agreement with you. I don't see them taking Dr. Chang and Ed Bartlett, even when Ed Bartlett is an absentee member of Parliament, but
it's a fantastic organization, man.
Yes.
Well organized.
He has a strong
Patrick, I want to bring you in here, you know, Patrick. Patrick, I want to bring you in here about the war chest. Like we mentioned the war chest a while ago, of one member from St. James. And people, one of our respondents had asked about, pointed out that money must be used to entice people and so on. And the argument that keeps coming up, Patrick, about how much money you really need. How big is the money issue for you?
Well, you know, a friend of mine, political friend of mine, said to me some time ago that it's a transactional arrangement. Politics is now become transactional. And as Libby, we're kind of discussing the young people. It's more transactional for the young voters. And it's a common thing. I hear it all over the place. They're not voting unless they get some money, right? They're not voting unless certain things
They
happen.
get cement
And all of that.
Cement, bag of grocery, namely for the shop.
Right. They have to get something. It's a transaction. And it's boiled down. I hear some people say it's who really offer the most money in this election gonna win. Because especially the young
people. It's all over the place, man. It's all over. Yes. It's widespread what the people are getting and being given.
Right. And especially the young people, they are not playing with it. They have to be convinced.
Well, what I see is this. It's only every 5 years people have the opportunity to get something. That is how some of them reason. Look, they want our votes. All we get is what they give us now. It's all about them. When they get there, they don't remember us. So let us get out as much as we can out of both sides. I don't know how many of you saw the video with these two people, one in green, the other in orange, and sending one out and say, you go to the JLP meeting and collect what you can collect, and then you come and we'll exchange shirts. And then I'll go to the other meeting so that we will get from both sides.
But because even during the nomination, I heard that the shirt were wrapped up, money was wrapped up in the shirt.
Yes.
That was a part of that video.
Libby, I love your response, your comment here. But somebody was responding to me on WhatsApp, from out west, as a matter of fact. I can't even hear him, but he's saying that money is needed mainly for organization on the day. Money is needed on the day. Now, I know that there are runners, people organize a taxi, people organize lunch, people organize. But how serious is this money issue, Libby?
Well, it is the fuel for the organizational trust that the parties have, especially on election day. because they have to transport a lot of the persons. They would have done their canvassing and their enumeration, so they know exactly who to pull out. And you would have observed every time we have an election, one of the spectacles that we observe are invalids being lifted up and put in a taxi and taken to the polling station because every vote counts. So and all of it takes money, and you have to put gas in the vehicles, and you have to feed them and everything else. So it is an expensive proposition. The buying of votes, it takes all kinds of forms. When I ran, for example, I ran twice. I don't know if some of you may have realized, but I did run once in South for the JLP, and I lost, of course. Kelia was too strong. Well, Kelia was too strong for me. It was the 4 or 5 star general. But anyway, and I went in 2 weeks before the election. But anyway, the fact is, when I went into a certain area, this little old man came out of its house area, and he said to me, Mr. Smith, "It's 15 of us live in this yard. All of them are my relative. Right? One of my son and my daughter, my grandparents, but I can guarantee you the 15 votes. See, them, me have a room over there, so me want deck and finish off. So me need some cement and building block. If you can supply those, you get 15 votes right away."
Right. And you did supply.
Hold on, Mandy.
Yeah.
You have to finish, you have to give us a full story now. Did you supply?
Did you supply?
No, wait, no, man. Then why you think me lose? When me no fool like one of come here something, you know, like I'm a paragon of virtue. I say to the owner, look, if I become MP, I'm going to be looking about water and road and pool and injustice in Peter water.
Of course.
I'm getting some laughter emojis on my side on my WhatsApp. I don't have to communicate directly here. I asked them to come on to YouTube, but they don't tend to. But the money is a serious issue. That's one.
It is, and it plays a very critical role, and the whole business of letting off, and as Patrick pointed out, it is a transactional type of affair. But I do believe, though, that a very good candidate with sufficient organization behind him or her can tip the scales, because a lot of times some of these people who you give money to or whatever, they don't even turn up to vote, right? Because sometimes they get drunk an election day, then they have to borrow a drink off the money, right?
But don't you know the saying? Nab them out and vote them out.
Right.
You don't know that one?
Yes.
Desmond, how serious is the money business, Desmond?
Well, the last election, what I recall, at that time I was running a nightclub, and I remember the day after election, a driver who I know, he came to me with his trunk filled with white rum, cases of white rum, saying that these are leftovers from what was given to the voters up in Nannyville. And I remember I bought 2 cases from him.
It's a serious joke, you know.
Tainted rum, not Desmond. Tainted rum, man. Tainted rum.
Right. So I know that the transactional aspect. When I saw this up front in West Portland when Darrell Vaz contested, I was in that constituency for some weeks, and I saw the transactional aspect of the election up front. Not here. So I saw it happening.
Yeah.
Right. So, but one of the things that we must remember that the transactional aspect of the politics, it has grown stronger because of the lack of representation by the members of parliament. The members of parliament, once they are elected, they forget their constituents and constituency. You know, one of the things that and I don't know if Lloyd B would agree, you know, the members of parliament don't represent the people, they represent their parties.
Yeah.
And therefore, after the election, the people don't see them, they do very little until election time again. So that is why the people have taken it unto themselves to say, okay, you want the vote, pay for it.
Yeah, and in all of this is where I have had serious issues with Andrew Holness, because when he went in the direction of talking about providing job description for members of parliament and ministers, I thought that excellent idea, but that has not come to fruition. And what we have seen is that some of these MPs are just warming benches. It's the first time in the history of Jamaican politics that there are some members of parliament who I don't know. I can't even remember their names.
The numbers are big. The numbers are huge on the government side. And
yes,
they
I don't even know their name. They have never spoken. There's nothing that they've contributed. And it is sad because, you know, and we're talking about constitutional reform. We can't go into being a Republican of the same system of governance. It's not going to work. There must be a greater level of accountability coming from our elected officials. And this business of just getting elected on the coattails of the leader, which is what happened in 2020, and is likely to happen again in 2025, is taking us nowhere, and it continues to weaken our democracy.
Okay, we're going to move on. Now we're coming near to the end of the show. I'm going to come back to ask Winnie to give us a few words on the debate, if she can get there. But before we get there, Lloyd B, one of the things that I see somebody saying is that Malahoo Ford has a strong backing, and she has one of the dares on her side in that part of the world, and that will help her prevail. So after Winnie,
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, that Malahoo Fort has one of the dares, on her side, and that will count for something.
That's money. That translates into money. Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Resources. Yes.
Okay. Beautiful. So Winnie, you want to give us a word on the debates before we ask everybody to give us their predictions?
I think it's best for me to pass on the debates because I was not available for the first one. Didn't get to watch any of them, only what others have had to say about them.
Patrick, did the debates move the needle at all, you think, Patrick? By the way, it wouldn't be caught in Don Anderson's poll took place during one, but with the first debate they could have responded, but they wouldn't have seen the latter two. You think the debate meant anything, Patrick? We're not hearing Patrick all of a sudden. He's muted.
Sorry. It was more focused on the character of the leaders, which is important. I didn't hear much about how they're going to grow the economy, right? It's like,
You're talking the leadership debate now, Patrick?
The leadership debate.
Fine.
I'm not a fact. Most of the debates, they fail to really push the issues that going to grow the economy, right? They were more focused on the more social character assassination type of thing, which is important, right? So we didn't hear much about how you're going to grow the economy, how you're going to grow agriculture, how you're going to grow tourism, right? How you're going to help small business.
Yeah.
It was really lacking from
and in that. Yes. I agree with Patrick there, sorry to cut in, but frankly,
that's the end of today's show. Thanks to all my listeners and viewers. Yes, and thanks to my technical operator, Kevin. As per usual, I am urging road users to take it easy. Too many casualties. And we did not have an accident-free weekend at all. No. And remember to take care of yourself and remain safe. The gunmen are out there. Until Wednesday, and remember Wednesday is the big day. Yes. So take care until Wednesday. This is Rebel Radio, and I am Desmond Richards.
It's the Everybody Sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagley Park Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
Tools, hardware, and supplies is turning up the heat this summer with your super saving summer sale. Prices are slashed on everything you need to fix up your home. Beautiful tiles, sleek doors, top quality windows, modern sanitary ware, exclusive flooring, and more. At Tools, hardware, and supplies, we have you covered for the summer.
So come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hardware.
Jamaica is what built fire, passion and vibes, and through it all there's a glow inside. Let's keep her shine alive.
From the market to the factory floors, from the hillside green to golden shores.
We're reaching heights, energy that lights the sky. Shine bright, Jamaica. Shine bright, Jamaica.